What's up, Juventini? Well, we know the story. Juve's got to bolster the backline, and they got to do it like now. But are they going to be forced to sell in order to bring in the cavalry in January? That's the latest. We'll look at the candidates for outgoing moves, and one of those names might surprise you. Then the list of candidates coming in at the backline, we've got 5 shortlisted defenders, 2 of them named concrete options today, but we also have 2 new names to add. That's a list of 7 defenders. We're going to look at all the names. And what about the attack? Some say forget about it, bolster the backline. Well, Juve's not forgetting about it. We have a new attacker being linked to Juventus, which we will look at. And then Paul Pogba and Juve going to court? We'll look at the latest there and all your news surrounding Juventus right now together. I'm Berto. This is the AJC channel dedicated to Juventus. It's November 14th. Let's rock with the news. And with everything going on in the backline, we're first going to start things off with the attack because some fans have said, you know what? With what's going on at the back, it's definitely taking priority. Forget about a backup to Vlahovic. Do you feel that way? Should Juve abandon those plans of bringing in a vice Vlahovic? I'll tell you what, according to all the reports, Juve is not backing down from that and still looking. They have been monitoring this next name for several weeks, scouting him, and that is Liam Delap of Ipswich. He's got 6 goals in 11 Prem matches. He is being monitored by several clubs around Europe, and Juventus is one of them. All right, so will they strike for the player? We wait and see. As far as any valuations, hasn't even gone to that point yet, so we don't even know what this player could be available for. However, Juve has him in their sightlines potentially for a January move. At the back, we know the situation, and today we get the unfortunate confirmation that Cabal's season ends. All right, it is over, confirmed, torn ACL. All right, so Godspeed on the recovery, Juan. Wishing you all the best. For Juventus, we have a list of 5 players shortlisted. That is Lindelof, Ortiz, Ismaili, and you have Dragusin and Kiwior. Nico Skira goes as far to say Dragusin and Kiwior are the 2 concrete names as of right now, and Nico Skira says due to Kiwior's versatility, also offering center back and left back play like Cabal, he has to be considered the favorite, especially the fact that he is familiar with Thiago Motta as well. But we have 2 new names to add to the list as well. And the first one is Eric Dyer. Dyer could potentially be an option for Juventus in January at about 5 million euros. The other player Juve is monitoring is John Lucumi of Bologna. Again, a player familiar with Thiago Motta as well, and with what's going on at Bologna, could become available for around 15 million euros. Now, some of these other moves, we don't know the financials exactly. Ortiz is very similar, around 15 million euros, etc. Now, we have reports that could be too much for Juventus, and they're going to have to sell in order to even make this move, in order to even bring cavalry in, if it's not some type of dry loan. The candidates for outgoing moves are Arthur. We know we're trying to get rid of him and sell him in January. I'm not holding my breath on getting anything that's going to result in bringing in one of these players. The other is Danilo, but the silly thing there is that makes you have to bring in 2 defenders if you're getting rid of Danilo. That's still not enough coverage for this team. So the third name, the surprise name, is Imbangula could be potentially sold to help fund the move that bolsters the backline. And they're talking about a valuation of 10 million euros. Now, this whole situation, and me looking at it from the outside in, I find it a little bit silly. Silly when you can utilize free agency. And again, I know that the names in free agency aren't literally just throwing people through the roof at why we're not signing them, but the point of the matter is you are not going to replace Bremer in January. And I feel like the majority of the people out there think that you are. You aren't, okay? So we're looking at literally safety net signings. Really, one guy's just got to be able to provide coverage like Cabal did. Another guy has to just be better than Danilo. I still don't understand Juve's reluctance to just look at bringing back a loanee player or even looking at free agency for the time being. You are in an international break. As far as bringing in a free agent, if you jumped on it right away, some of those options could have had almost 2 weeks to get in some type of decent condition or at least integrated into the team somewhat and just be that safety net. We are not trying to replace Bremer. Kalulu and Gatti will be your 1A options. I don't understand the reluctance. And now to look at selling Mbangula at 10 million euros seems like a situation that is silly when it could be avoided. That's just me. But Motta and Giuntoli have been hell-bent on certain things. And maybe, just maybe, their reluctance at just getting rid of everything that has to do with the previous management and regime is leading them to make some questionable maneuvers or decisions. But selling Mbangula now, do you do that to fund the defender coming in? I'm a no right now, and I think it's silly based on what could happen. But you know the drill. I lay it out for you to play it out. Hit me with what you think about that scenario. And then, speaking of Juve doing whatever it takes to rid themselves of the previous management and regime and certain key indicators of what was going on, Paul, Pogba, and Juventus, are they going to court? Well, the latest reports suggest that Paul Pogba was going to fight for some type of severance. This guy's got no leg to stand on in that dispute, okay? But it seems that all is going to be wrapped up very soon because today's reports don't suggest that they're going to court. They suggest that the termination is complete, and look for the announcement officially that Juve has terminated Paul Pogba's contract to come out before this international break ends. That's your news break, everybody. You know the drill, all right? Never a dull moment around the news in this club, but like the video, subscribe to the channel, join our AJC army. Let me know with what you think about all the news you just heard here today. And of course, I'm back with another edition tomorrow as always. Till then, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.